Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Tone for another episode of Orilla Radio. This is episode 5, The Gift of Song. And on this episode, as you see, I am featuring someone who I recently heard through a friend of a friend. Shout out to Kicking It with Rob. He linked me to this wonderful young lady whose voice is phenomenal. And I just want to bring her on so we can get to know a little bit about her on Orilla Radio. Once again, this is KyraNicole.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for coming on the show,
Thank you for
Miss
having me.
KyraNicole.
Yes.
So it's an interesting name. You don't particularly hear KyraNicole all together. Is that like middle and the first name or something like that?
It definitely is nothing too thought out, just my first and middle name put
Okay,
together.
okay. If you happen to make it big, they'll call you KN. That's what they do in the industry, right? Hey KN.
And
Hey
I'll be
KN.
okay with that.
You would.
KN will be my name, yes.
So you are on Orilla Radio, and I'm your host, Big Tone, and this is KyraNicole. So we're gonna dig a little deeper into the Gift of Song, episode 5 with KyraNicole. Miss KyraNicole, tell us a little bit about you.
All right. I am Kyra Nicole. I am from Ypsilanti, Michigan. I am currently a graduating senior from the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. I will soon have my degree in music with a concentration in vocal studies.
Ooh,
And I am also a voice coach right now. So I have a lot of fun things going on within the music industry.
that is super dope, man. Wow. Quick question. Do you
Yes,
play an instrument?
I do. I play piano.
Okay. How long have you been playing piano?
I've taken lessons since like the age of 7, and then I stopped when I got around 15, and now I'm back in it in college. So,
Okay.
um,
That's pretty dope. Yes. Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
thank
My okay, so here's one for you. Being as though you play instrument, you play the piano.
you. Mhm.
Have Is that something that go hand in hand with vocals?
Oh, definitely. It helps me train my ear. I can definitely hear notes easier. I can probably like determine where a song is going before it's even played because I play the piano. So it definitely helps a lot in a lot of aspects of music, of course.
Okay. So I hear you have a song out, right?
I do.
What's the
My
name of your song?
good enough.
Good enough. Good enough. What was the motivation of good enough?
There was no motivation actually. I'm not tech savvy, so I was just sitting in my dorm room freshman year and I was playing on GarageBand and I found a few chords and tones that I liked. So I put them together and then from there I just started replaying the melody in my head and I started to put lyrics along with it. And
Okay.
that is how I created Good Enough.
And you just made good enough. The lyrics, you just came up with it. It wasn't no deep thought process. Like this is something that I was feeling about a particular person, and then from there, I just said, you know what? I gotta put this on pen and pad. I gotta let the people hear it.
Nope, you would think that from the lyrics behind it, but no, it's just all in my brain and it came out on paper.
It came out on paper. That's
Yeah.
super dope. That's super dope. Well, you know what, man? To be a MC or a vocalist, you have to be able to be quick on your toes and be able to
Yeah.
deliver at the drop of a hat. And you, you say you do music at Clark University, right?
Yes, Clark
Have you
Atlanta.
done any performances out there?
Yes, I recently I've done open mics around. I've recently had to put on a junior recital and a senior recital. So we get out, we're like seen, and then we do sing at a few churches here locally. So yes.
Okay. If to anybody who don't know where Clark University is, can you tell us all the listeners where is Clark University?
Yes, Clark Atlanta University is in Atlanta, Georgia. It is a part of the AUC, which is connected with Morehouse College and Spelman College. So it's us three schools in one place.
That is super dope. That is super dope. I can't.
Yes.
Wow. I am honored to have you here today. Especially
Thank
on
you.
Easter Sunday. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And that is big for me and my listeners. Some listeners may be in church this week. Do you have a background singing in the church?
Yes, I grew up singing in the church. My mother was adamant on placing my sister and I in the choir, but I got more of the voice, so my sister's more artistic and like drawing and stuff. So
Oh,
I
okay.
stayed in the choir, and I actually sung my first solo in church. It was "I'm Walking in Authority" by, I believe, Donnie McClurkin.
Ooh.
And ever since then, I've been singing. That's really how I wanted to pursue music going forward, because I kept thinking back to, ooh, I love the feeling of the microphone in my hand. And that is what encouraged me to start singing.
So what would how can I put this? If you had a comparison to anybody, who would you compare your sound to, or some similar to?
Similar to, that's a great question. The only person that really comes to mind is more of like a maybe like a Ari Lennox, but I feel like I have a different tone than her, but I feel like our sound is alike.
Okay, okay. Well, how would you describe your vocal tone? Is it soprano, alto,
I'm definitely a soprano, but I feel like at times I can sound more like a mezzo soprano, so like a medium soprano.
a
But
medium? Okay,
yes, so that's where I think I stand vocally.
okay. So you made good enough. Do you
Mhm.
plan on making any more music soon? Being as though you just did that off GarageBand to see if you could do it, and just seeing, how I'm gonna get this done. Do you plan on locking down in the studio, coming up with some tracks, so you have a full-fledged album to put out and say, "Hey, look, this is KyraNicole." Do you plan on doing that soon?
I plan on doing it at some point. Like, I
Oh.
have more songs in the vault, right? But I've been on a hiatus, so I don't know when I'm going to get these songs done, but I'm sure they'll be coming out sooner than later, of
Okay,
course.
okay, okay. So, being as though you've been on a hiatus as far as producing music out, what have you been doing with your time musically?
So, musically, either just singing or vocal coaching other people on how to properly use their voice. Because believe it or not, so many people sing incorrectly. So, just helping people correct their approach to singing to the proper way is what I typically do in my free time.
That's interesting. Can you give us a demonstration of properly using your vocal tones? I guess.
Yes, of course.
Okay, all
So,
right.
first, what you want to do is, if you're in a seated position, you want to bring yourself all the way to the edge of your chair, feet flat
Okay.
on the floor. You want your torso to be in a straight line. You want your head to be all vertically aligned. So nothing should be sticking out, nothing should be in, everything should sit comfortably. Your shoulders should be relaxed, so you should be able to move them freely, roll them out. Believe it or not, rolling your shoulders is a great way to release tension. So you want to sit nice and straight, shoulders relaxed, head straight, chin down, and then you want to drop your jaw whenever you're singing a note. So, say you're singing ah, you don't want to sing ah, you want to do ah. Yes. You see how you're sticking in your chin a little? You want to relax that. So, you want to do ah. Now your chin closed. So, you want to find that perfect balance of ah, drop it just a little more. Better. Better.
All right,
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a little background on me. Right, when I was younger, I was all city, all state, male glee, male ensemble. So I'm a little familiar with what you doing. You know, we
Hmm.
used to go sing in various locations here in Detroit. Where you from? You from Detroit? Grand Rapids. From
No,
Grand
I am
Rapids,
from
right?
Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Ypsilanti. That's right.
Yeah,
You did say that at the top of the show. You
yeah.
from Ypsilanti.
But
And
everything I do is really based in Detroit, so I guess you can say I'm from both.
so what do you do that's based in Detroit?
So like I've taken acting lessons from Mary Grove College. I used to take voice lessons from there as well. Dance lessons from Detroit Dance Academy. Um, what else did I do in Detroit? I've taken a lot of things in Detroit, so uh, yeah.
Mine. I have a nephew, and he was on the show. I don't know if you've been watching Orilla Radio, but he was on the show, and he does things through Mary Grove College. He's with I want to say DYI, Detroit Youth. Uh,
The choir.
yeah,
That was
he's with
one
the
America's
choir.
Got Talent.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah.
with that choir, and
He does
they practice at Mary Grove
Mary Grove
College.
College. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a girl in our choir here at Clark that was recently in that choir. So
Okay. Well, she probably know my nephew.
he
You know what
probably
I'm saying?
does.
Yep. She probably know Eric Brown. Shout out to Eric Brown. You know what I mean? That's my young boy. He'll be making his way off to college uh, this fall. Um. So you do a lot of things in Detroit in your spare time when you're not singing everywhere. How do you preserve your voice? How do you I guess, relax and unwind, and so your voice isn't stressed, and you're not yelling at nobody, and because I catch myself yelling all the time, and my voice it be like, so KyraNicole, how do you do that? What do you do in your spare time to chill?
To chill, I love watching my shows. So I like binging Netflix originals. I like watching 90 Day Fiance. That's what I like to do in my spare time.
I'm a 90
So
Day Fiance fan too. You know
it's
what
a
I mean?
great show.
There's so much drama that goes on within 90 days.
Yes, I definitely agree. But I'm definitely a TV person when I don't have to sing or teach. So that's what I
Okay.
enjoy doing.
So, have you seen anything on television that has inspired you to want to like take your music to another level? Or right now it's just like, I got this gift. I'm just chilling with it right now. And, later on I'll do something with it, as you said earlier. But have you seen anything on TV that make me like, you know what? I need to start working a little bit more on my gift.
Yeah, so like believe it or not, like the music at the end of a movie that's like playing while the credits are going. So like somebody had to compose that music. So every time like I'm at the end of a movie or a show and I hear like the credits going by and I hear the music, I'm like, I would really like to compose a piece of work like that.
Okay.
So that's when I start to think, I really need to keep going with my gift. So yes.
Yeah, yeah, I dig it. I dig it. But I know how strenuous school can be. I was in
Oh, for
college.
sure.
I was in college as well. I went to Defiance College in Defiance, Ohio. And
Yeah.
the big thing there, we was just trying. There wasn't a lot of black people there, so we was just trying to make it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Get through it and figure it out. So each day, while you going to school and your leisure time, you ain't thinking about doing nothing that's gonna be stressful.
Right.
Strenuous. So I get it. I want to binge watch. Back in my day, we used to eat Papa John's pizzas and ramen noodles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So right now, being as though you in college, what's college life for you?
College life is wonderful. I'm just waiting to graduate. Like I've genuinely enjoyed my time here in college. So like you were saying earlier, you were at Defiance with a whole lot of white people. I went to Western Michigan University at first, and I stayed there 2 years. And I was the only Black person in like majority of my music classes. And I said, something's got to change. So my mom really pushed me to apply for different schools. So I applied to Clark, and they accepted me. And then finally, when I got here, just to be surrounded by Black people and seeing Black people striving to be something like you are, it really pushed me to keep going and to move forward and to get my degree in music. So, yeah, that's how my college years have been going, and I loved every minute of it.
That's what's up. Being as though that I used to be in Defiance, right? I'm gonna tell you what it did teach me. It taught me to adapt in different surroundings and different
Mhm.
settings. You know what I mean? Because what we typically can do as Black people, we tend to not be able to think outside of the box. Yeah, and only way that we can really manage if we amongst our own. So
Right.
being in Defiance, it taught me that hey, look, not only that I may find different interests in other people, they may find something that they may like in me as well. And I had to learn that, being as though like I'm straight from Detroit where you really don't see any white people on the side of 8 Mile that I'm from. You gotta
Mhm.
cross 8 Mile to see them like that. But things are changing. They in the hood now. But back in the day when I was growing up, it was pretty much I couldn't do that. So when I went off to college, it was a major culture shock. And
Mhm.
and I got those moments probably like when you got your moments where they're asking you Black questions, like you speak for every Black person. You know what I mean? But once we got past all that, I start realizing that they got a lot of funny stuff about them too. You know what I mean?
Of
And
course.
they have a lot of relatable things. And it taught me that, at the end of the day, only thing that make us different is our skin tone. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But unfortunately, the way the world is, it's not that. We need to see that. They need to see that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because it's a lot of things that's happening today that point to the fingers that, hey, look, you point one at me, but you're not pointing those four back at yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I commend you for going down to Clark University and you being around people that are like-minded like you and you able to flourish in an environment that you are comfortable with. You know what I mean? Because comfortability is really good when you in college. You want to be comfortable. You don't
Right.
want to be uncomfortable if you got to share a room with somebody. You know,
Exactly.
are you going through that experience where you're in a dormitory and you sharing rooms with other people and all that?
Nope. Fun fact, Clark didn't give us housing this year, so I actually ended up rooming with my cousin. So we got an apartment, and now she's my roommate. So it works.
That's
It
so
works
dope.
very well.
That's
But
super dope.
my freshman and sophomore year roommate, we're still friends to this day. So it worked out for the better.
Man, I was a horrible roommate in college. I was a horrible roommate. I used to do stuff to kick them out of the room. So I know Kyra. I was bad. I was bad. I would do stuff. I would blast music at the top of the building. I used to have like big speakers, and I would blast 5 in the morning. You know what I mean? And they got class like 7:30, and I just be blasting my music. I would always be blasting Tupac. You know what I mean? And they would
Well,
be
that was a great song choice and great artist choice. So
yes, it
I'll give
was.
you a pass card.
Okay, all right. So yeah, but they didn't like me, so I ended up in all 4 years of me being there. I ended up with my own room. So what I
As
would
you
do,
should.
I would create the beds into, it'd be like twin beds.
You push them
I
together.
push them together and make me one queen size.
Yep.
Yep,
I
yep,
don't blame you.
yep. So that was my thing back in college. I wanted my space, so I got it.
And
So
your space is important.
it's
So
very important. And what I want to talk about as far as the music again, um, artists. Do you have any particular artists that you may like? Um,
yes.
uh, let's go past and let's go future. Who you like from the past?
From the past, I would have to say, it's a great question. From the past, the only one I can think of is Katy Perry. I was a huge
Katy
Katy Perry.
Perry. Okay.
Yes. Great music still.
Okay.
And who else? There's this one band named Fun. I don't know if you know them, but their their name is called Fun, and I liked them, but I
Okay.
don't listen to them as much now.
Okay. So this kind of like alternative music. What kind of music is
Yeah, they're
Fun?
definitely alternative.
Okay.
So
All right.
growing up in Ipsy, I was exposed to a lot of different music. I just learned a few artists that I listen to now recently.
What's those names?
So Jasmine Sullivan, I'm just
What? You
like
just getting hip to Jasmine Sullivan?
I was hip to her, but I wasn't as hip to her as I am now.
Okay.
Um,
She just
I
won a
wasn't.
Grammy too. Shout out to her.
He did. I was very proud. Who else?
Hotels.
Yes, that's a great album. One of my favorites. I know now some artists that I'm just like I like to listen to now will have to be Ari Lennox, um, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. I feel like there are some others. Let me look because my playlist is full of them. Drake. Um,
I feel like this generation, that's your how can I say it? That's your like when you say J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, that's like Black Thought and Most Def in your generation.
mhm,
You know what I mean? That's
yes,
that's what I come up with. That's your Black Thought and Most Def.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then I would have to say Willow Smith. And I'm just now getting hip to Amy Winehouse. She's a great artist.
Okay, Amy Winehouse, she had a dope album. You know what I
She
mean? She
did.
had a real dope album. It was very underrated. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I'm realizing that now.
Yeah, her album was pretty dope, man. And it's unfortunate if she didn't have all the demons that was chasing her in her life. She would have been 10 times more spectacular if she could have been around, man. But that album she had, was it Back to Black or something like that?
Yes, that is
Yeah,
it.
that's the album. Yeah. So, I know my music. I know a little bit, you know what I
I
mean?
can
So
tell.
yeah. So in the future, if you was able to have the ability to meet a particular artist, who would you want to meet?
Who would I want to meet? Probably, well, I've met Ari Lennox. She was on top of my list. If I had to meet two, it
Hmm.
would have to be probably Two Chains.
Two
And
Chains? He
yes,
from down there, ain't he?
I know, and I've been trying to run into him. I just haven't got it yet. Haven't got
Okay.
the timing right. And SZA.
SZA. Oh, I bangs
Yeah.
with SZA heavy.
Yes, I love SZA.
I like SZA.
Also.
Her album is pretty dope too.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of her tracks. Go Gina, Go Gina. Yeah,
Broken Clocks.
yeah. Broken Clocks. That's pretty good.
The Weekend.
Yeah, the week. I mean, everybody like the
Supermodel.
weekend. You know what I
Every
mean?
song she makes is 10 out of
Yeah,
10.
yeah. She got one that was circulating on the internet, but it wasn't complete.
Hate You. That's it.
Dun, 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 It kind of reminded me of like a Aaliyah track,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not even going to attempt to sing the lyrics because I probably butcher them, and I don't particularly know them, but
Right.
whatever. So this episode is called "The Gift of Song."
Mm-hmm.
So when did you discover that you had the gift of song, KyraNicole?
That's a great question again. Um, I would have to say, oh, I did a talent show my freshman year of high school. And I like ripped through 3 songs. It was that Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake song. It was like, you curse my name, in spite, put me to shame, have my laundry in the streets, dirty or clean, give it up for fame. I don't know the title though. It was
I,
that one.
I know
It
what you're
was
talking about.
it was Thinking About You by Frank Ocean. And then it was
Give us a
Bad.
little bit of that one too.
Um, do you not think so far ahead? I've been thinking about forever. Oh, do you not think so far ahead? I've been thinking about forever. Oh, that one. And then
Okay.
I did Bad, but I did like the very end of it. It was like, and I'll be bad till you dum 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 dum. I'll be bad to you. Oh. And then like that was all I did. But I guess people loved it so much. One guy walked up to the stage and he just sat there and I guess just like listening and admiring. I don't know because I couldn't see because I was playing the piano and singing. So like my brain, I can't multitask that well. Singing and playing, and I couldn't look. And I just know my mom was like, Kyra, you did great. Da, 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 da. And she's like the hardest critic because she'll tell you if it's bad or not. Like she won't sugarcoat it because I'm her daughter. She'll be like, no, or great. So it's the fact that
I'm
she
like
said
that with my
great.
nephew, and he gets upset at me. And I'm like,
Yeah, I get upset too. I be like, can you just let me live for a moment? She's like, no, because you can do better. And I'm like,
yup, and that's
okay.
what I say to him. That's what his mom says to him, and he like, Uncle Tony, like, no, no, just let me chill. And I'm like, bro, no, you could have did
No,
better.
that's her. She's like, no, you can do it again. Or like I'll be practicing and she's like, get on the wall, do it again, but you need more feeling, Kyra. Really feel the music. And I'm like, I'm just comply so you will stop saying to get on the wall. But that will have to be the moment when I realize that I could really sing or the gift of song.
So before that, before you realized that you had the gift of song, what was you thinking? When put me in the mind state, like, where were you at? Like, I'm okay, I'm all right, but I don't think I'm all like that. You know what I mean? Was that your mind state or
For sure, because growing up, I had a speech impediment.
okay?
So I was very much in the mindset of like, can you even understand me when I sing? So that had to be like a box that I was in, like unsure of like, can I sing? Because if you can't understand me, all you're really hearing is I guess. But so I guess I wasn't very confident then. But then after I did my one talent show, I guess I started to really have that confidence. Like, I do have it.
And just hearing a little bit, I see you. You have a beautiful, beautiful voice. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? And we would love here on Overly Radio for you to give us a little bit, just a little bit. You know what I mean? Before we get off, if possible, give us a little bit, not too much, because we still got this good enough single that we want to pump out there. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? What is on? What is it on? Is it on SoundCloud? It's on Apple Music. It's on what is it
It's on
on?
Apple Music, I believe, and
Okay.
only on Apple Music. And it might actually also be on SoundCloud, but not 1,000% sure about that. Like I said, I'm not tech savvy. My uncle put this out for me, so I know it's on Apple Music for sure though.
Shout out to your uncle. And then in a moment, we're gonna do shout outs to anybody that you want to shout out. You know what I'm saying? But can you give us a little bit of who KyraNicole is?
Yes. All right, which song do I want to sing? I don't know. I guess I will go to that's a great question. All right. I don't know. I'm gonna just sing a song. Um, Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then why can't I? And that's all I got for you.
That's beautiful. That
Thank
is
you.
beautiful. Wow. Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is beautiful. I want to thank you for coming on to Orilla Radio.
Thank you for having me.
I look, it's my honor. It is my honor. But before you go,
Mhm.
do you have anybody you want to shout out? Any thank yous? Anybody that supports you and help you get through your tough moments? Shout out. It's your moment. Go ahead.
Gotcha. First off, shout out to God. Happy Easter.
Resurrection Day.
Yes, Resurrection Day. Then shout out to my mother. Thank you for pushing me and, giving me the encouragement and the love that I need to go chase my dreams. Shout out to my sister because she's always my clothing designer. I don't know, whenever I do have a performance. Shout out to Nina. Thank you for being a great roommate all these years. Shout out to my grandmother. She's the one that discovered my voice. Shout out to who else? Everyone else in my family that's always encouraged me and pushed me. And shout out to Sam. Thank you for listening to me run through my recital a million times. And that's all my shout out.
All right, that is wonderful. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been blessed here on Overly Radio with KyraNicole. Links to her song would be in the description. KyraNicole, thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you. And everybody who rocks on Overly Radio know that this is Big Tone. I'm Big Tone. This is KyraNicole, and we are out of here. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Be blessed.